Project 6, task number 1 says, below the title Landscaping Made Easy, insert a screen clipping of the photo displayed on the project document. So first we want to make sure that our cursor is directly below that heading. We're going to go up to our Insert tab. May have frozen here. Let me try to reset the project. Okay, there we go. So with our cursor under landscaping, go up to our Insert tab, and in our illustrations group, we're going to select the screenshot drop down, and we want a clipping of the photo displayed on the project document. So that's this one here. Shows some little stream with some flowers. Mark as completed and move to the next task. Number 2, convert the footnote associated with the heading Designing Your Yard to an endnote. So we need to find Designing Your Yard, which is located here. We want to select that indicator. And then we're going to go up to the References tab, and we want the Footnotes dialog box launcher. We're going to change this to an endnote, and we want it at the end of the document. And then we can select our Convert button. And we want to convert all footnotes to endnotes and click OK from here. Go ahead and hit Insert. And then we can go back and double check that we now have an endnote associated with that heading, Designing Your Yard. Mark as completed and move to the next task. Below the heading, Choosing a Tree, which we have here, starting with the heading General Appearance and ending with the text Height of. We want to format all of the lists to 2 columns with a width of 3.1 inches and a line separating the columns, and accept all other defaults. So below the heading Choosing a Tree, select all of the text before the paragraph that begins if you have any problems. So we're going to start with General Appearance. Scroll down. So that's from the sections General Appearance into and including the crown section. We're going to go up to the Layout tab of our ribbon, and in the Page Setup group, we're going to select the Columns drop down and select More Columns. And we want to configure them as listed. We want number of columns, we want 2, we want a line between, so make sure that's checked off. The width of column 1 is going to be 3.1. We can click OK from here, and we get that formatting. Mark as completed and move to the next. Number 4 says to insert a column break just before the last bullet item in the trunk list. The bigger the root ball, the better. we need to find the trunk list, which is located here, and we want a column break just before the last bullet. So we want to put our insertion point just before the word "the" in that bullet point. And in our layout tab, from our breaks drop down, we're going to select column break. And that's going to move that last bullet point into the next column. Mark is completed and move to task number 5. Add the alternate text title office hours to the table in the document. So we want to scroll to that table, click anywhere inside of it. We're going to go up to our layout contextual tab, and in our first command group here called table, we want to select properties and go up to the alt text tab at the top. And the title for this is going to be office hours. Again, make sure your capitalization is correct and click OK from here. Mark that as completed, and we can go ahead and grade project number 6. You can see we have a red X on task number 1, so we're going to go back and retry that. Remember, it can get tricky with going back and correcting some of your mistakes sometimes because it's not resetting the steps that you already went and completed in that particular task. So sometimes it might be beneficial to restart the whole entire project and reset everything and go back through it. All right, below the title, Landscaping Made Easy, insert a screen clipping of the photo displayed on the project document. So we went and we inserted this particular screen clipping. Oops. Place your cursor below the title, Landscaping Made Easy, which we did. On the Insert tab in the Illustrations group, we selected Screenshot. Hint, all windows that are currently open on your computer desktop will be displayed. In the upper left corner is the window that was most recently opened, and it will be the window used for the screen clipping. All right, so let's delete this. Let's go back through our steps. Insert, our screen, our screenshot drop down, screen clipping, and click and drag to select most of that. And let's see if they accept this. I didn't take the whole picture. No. Alright. It gets a little tricky because they're saying that the project document will open, but I have the Geometrix taskbar coming up in the screen clipping drop down. So I'm not sure if it's going to accept this. Alright, try it once more, but it's not displaying the whole picture, so I don't think it will accept it. Because normally it would be in an entirely different window that it would pop up, so you would be able to get the whole thing. So we might just have to skip over this one. Let's go ahead and see if it takes this. Yeah, still no. Alright, we'll go ahead and move on from this because this is kind of a little glitchy that you might not be able to get past. But all in all, they're wanting you to take that clipping from the top left-hand corner all the way to the bottom right-hand corner of this picture. But because it's not opening in its own specific window, and I have the question bar in the way, it's not accepting it. One more thing I can try is, let's try this. If I move my question bar let's undock it and see if that works. Ah, that does work. See how now you have two different documents open? Alright, let me make this one bigger. Delete this. Make sure my cursor's in the right spot. Go to that screenshot. Insert screen clipping. Still not scrolling. Let's try again. You kind of have to scroll fast to get the whole picture in. Yeah, this is way too tricky for my liking. I don't like how they set this question up at all. And even if you can get it on there, you have to size it exactly so it's showing. So I opened up the other window. So for this particular project, it does open two windows in Word. So you have to first make sure that the whole graphic is showing in that other document, because when you go through the steps, it's automatically going to click over to you, and it's going to put that gray mask on the page where you take the screen clipping from, so you won't be able to move it, so you have to move it beforehand. Don't like how this question was set up at all. Alright, let's go back. To the other window. Make sure my cursor's there. Go to my screen clipping. Now my taskbar's in the way again. Yeah, that's annoying. This would be much easier if I was working on like a double screen or something, but I'm only working on my laptop. So if you have trouble with this one, please don't go crazy if you can't complete it, because again, this was not, it just wasn't set up very well. Alright, I have the whole graphic on here now. I'm going to click from top corner, drag to bottom corner, and let's see if they accept this. I'm going to bring my question back up, and let's go ahead and click to deselect the graphic, grade the project, and they accept it now. But that was too much work for one question. Way too much moving stuff around for my liking. So if you cannot get past that, please do not worry about that. They will not have a question that complicated on there, on the test. Alright, we're going to go ahead and click next to move on to project number 7. I need to go back and dock my taskbar to the bottom so I'm back to a normal view for myself. Alright, task number 1 3 edits were made to this document. Open the reviewer pane, accept the insertion of Hey Teachers and the replacement of Camp with Workshop, but reject the replacement of Saturday with Friday. So we're going to go up to our review tab, and in our tracking group, we're going to select the reviewing pane. They want you to select the reviewing pane vertical. And on the review tab in the changes group, you're going to select next and do the following. So we want to, for Hey Teachers, we want to select the accept drop down, and we're going to hit accept and move to next. Then we have the deletion of Saturday and the addition of Friday. Is that the next one? We want to reject and move to next. So hit our reject drop down, reject and move to next. Reject and move to next for the insertion of Friday. And then workshop is highlighted. We're going to select accept and move to next. And this is the deletion of the word camp. We're going to accept and move to next. And it says there are not any comments or track changes in your document left. Click OK. We can close that revisions pane, mark completed, move to next task. Select the line spacing of the list to 1. All right, so our list includes date down to the cost of $15. We're going to go to our home tab. In our paragraph group, our line spacing drop down we're going to put to 1 point spacing. Mark as completed and move to next. Increase the list level of the list to level 2. I'm going to select that list again. We're going to go to the paragraph group of our home tab, and then our bullets drop down, and we're going to change the list level, and we want to select the option of level 2. Mark as completed and move to next. Add a bevel relaxed inset shape effect to the 3 shapes of the SmartArt graphic. So we're going to click anywhere to select the SmartArt graphic. Again, click that outside border to make sure that no individual shape is selected. We're going to go up to our Format Contextual tab, and in the Shape Styles group, we're going to select Shape Effects. And what did we want? We want a bevel relaxed inset, which is our second option in that bevel section. Click to apply, then deselect the graphic, mark as completed, and move to next. Save the document into the Geometrics Templates folder in the PDF file format with the name MS Workshop. Do not open the PDF. I'm going to go up to File, Save As, Geometrics Templates. We want to change this to PDF. Uncheck Open File after publishing, and we want to rename this MS Workshop. Make sure everything that needs to be capitalized is. Make sure it's spelled correctly, and then I need to Move my taskbar, and I'm going to click the Save button. I'm going to mark as completed and go ahead and grade that project. 5 green check marks. Click Next. Here you can make sure that you have completed all the steps and all of the projects. You can jump back to any if you skipped any. I'm going to go ahead and finish test, and it's going to grade it for me. Remember that we did have one wrong because of I believe we had one question that we had to skip past, if I remember correctly. Oh, we must have fixed it. So it must have been that screen clipping one that we did eventually get through. Alright, so you can see you get your grade. And you can go to your Home tab to start a new test.